Let's talk Everton, Tony.
Do we have to, Jim?
I know.
I feel so sorry for the fans as well now.
Well, what are they looking at this season? Is another season of survival and only survival?
On a positive, they've got a manager that knows how to survive in the Premier League. That's the positive that I can throw at the Everton fans. Good manager. You know, he'll get the players playing for him. He'll get them organised. He'll get the results when he needs the results. They're going to be in the bottom half. If it goes wrong, like it has the last couple of seasons, they could well be fighting relegation again. But I don't know. They just need a period of stability and sort out the mess and clear the decks. And there's so much gone wrong. I remember being at Euston Station. I was working for Sky, and whenever it was that Mashiri arrived, I know what year it was, 13, 14, whenever it was, and a good friend of mine, Bill Kenwright, met him at the station, introduced me to Mashiri, and Bill said to me, "Have you got any advice to Mashiri?" And I went, "Yeah, buy a goal scorer." And that's exactly what I said to him. And that was, 7, 8, 9 years ago. And
yeah.
All right, they've got Calvert-Lewin, but they need a goal scorer. Every club, I said West Ham need, clubs need a goal scorer to help you to survive.
Yep.
And then to build on it and then to push on and try and get into Europe.
Are they over-reliant on Calvert-Lewin, though?
They are a little bit, yeah, because you look at the replacements. They've signed people like Morpay, etc. It hasn't worked out. There's no one really to score the goals for the club. They've got an incredible, fantastic new stadium coming in 2 seasons' time. I don't know whether you've seen the plans and the drawings, Jim. It is an unbelievable stadium and going to be one of the best locations, on a par with Fulham Craven Cottage on the Thames. It's going to be on the Mersey. Yeah. Great stadium. And as much as no one, including myself, wants to leave Goodison Park, they've got to do it. They've got to take the club on to the next level and try and compete. 51,000, whatever it is, at least they'll be able to compete a little bit more in terms of income on a match day. But it's a big job at Everton, and
Massive.
You do worry.
Massive.
Interesting piece of information I got told this morning. Willie Gnonto, who by all accounts asked not to play for Leeds in the League Cup this midweek so that it wouldn't be cup tied. We know that Everton very keen to sign him. Apparently went as far as having a look around the training ground. Then his advisors decided that maybe Everton wasn't the best move for their client at this moment in time.
What, having looked at the training ground?
Well, just having been to the football club.
Well, Alex, I can tell you that Everton have got a fantastic. I've been there. It's an incredible training ground, and as I say, the ground's coming, but that's in 2 years' time, And if you look at it, he might have looked at it from a football point of view and thought, well, do I want to be in a relegation fight? That could be more to the point. And that's what players do. They look at the situation. Yeah, of course, they might like the manager, Sean Dyche, ex-teammate of mine. You might like the manager. They might love the crowd and the fans that are there. It's an incredible fan base.
Yeah.
But what sort of season are Everton going to have? They haven't won a trophy since 1995. Not good enough, by the way, for Everton Football Club. Not good enough.
And you look at it, Dan Juma in there, Ashley Young in there. I love Ashley Young. But he's been around for a considerable long time.
It shows you where they are, Jim, doesn't it? They're not in the market to get the players that they need to get into the top half of the table. Actually, he's a reliable player, isn't he, Ashley Young? But it tells you everything. They are firefighting at the moment. And, I don't know what's gone on with the financial side of things, whether there's going to be any punishment with that. That's all gone quiet as well, isn't it? But you just hope Everton can survive, get into that new stadium, but they've got 2 years before they get there.
It was an absolute no-brainer that they stayed in the Premier League while the bricks are going into this new stadium.
Yeah.
Had they dropped down to the Championship, and that's going up in the background, then it would have been an absolute catastrophe.
And look at the Championship this year, Jim. Would you want to be in that Championship? That is unbelievable league this year. You've had 3 big uns coming up, 3 big uns gone down, and that is the hardest Championship for many years to get out of.
Yeah. Alex, you'll cover their games on a regular basis for talkSPORT this season. Do you fear for Everton?
A lot of people will say that they don't fear for Everton just based on Sean Dyche, and obviously he did manage to keep them up last season. I think they need Calvert-Lewin to stay fit. I was at the Amex when they got that freak result against Brighton, which basically saved their skins, and Calvert-Lewin was exceptional that night. If he stays fit, I wouldn't fear for him.
He's a top player, Alex, isn't he? But he's got to stay fit. You can't keep getting injured that much. He has to stay fit for the football club.
If he doesn't stay fit, I'll be right down there. But I guess the ray of light for everybody, the likes of Everton, maybe even Wolves, Nottingham Forest, I think haven't done quite as much business as Steve Cooper would have wanted. You're probably only playing for one relegation place because Sheffield United will go.
Be in trouble.
They'll finish bottom. Luton, I think, is signing players with an eye on the Championship next season. Going to be difficult for them
They'll
to stay
upset
up.
a few teams though, Luton. I'm going to stick up for Luton because that ground, there'll be a few players won't fancy playing at Kenilworth Road.
Yeah.
And I watched them in the semi-final playoff and the final. They get the ball in the box. If
Right.
you ain't ready, there'll be
Right.
corners, free kicks, crosses coming in. You know, I'm not saying it's the old Wimbledon style, but they will get the ball
Yeah,
forward
for sure.
and they will put teams under pressure,
Sure.
particularly at Kenilworth Road. You win 10 games at Kenilworth Road, 30 points, you ain't far off of staying in the Premier League.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.